views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
Hi, welcome to the latest episode of Mission Bronx. Mission Bronx is a collaboration between the Center for Bronx Nonprofits at Hostos Community College and BronxNet. And I'm your host, Eileen Newman. Today, as you can see, we're out of the studio and onto the soccer field. We're visiting with a youth development organization, South Bronx United. South Bronx United uses soccer as a way to work with students to achieve their goals in school, working towards their future, and they use athletics, wellness, teaching, and academic achievement as a way to do that. We'll be meeting some wonderful people who work here and some wonderful special students who are taking part in this program. Andrew, this is pretty amazing being here. I have to tell you, because I've known you now for 3 years and known about this program for 3 years, but I've never met the kids, except once I came here when you were tutoring in that hot, hot summer in the hallway. The kids were in the hallway and it was so hot and everybody was sweating. But I've never, they're amazing. And what you're doing is amazing.
Thank you, thank you.
So Andrew, how did you start South Bronx? How did this all begin?
So South Bronx United started in 2009. I was teaching at a school in Morrisania at the time. So I was doing after-school soccer programs with the kids that I was working with. I had kids that had never played soccer before, but they just needed something to do after school, and just like the social aspect of it. It was a good way to keep them out of trouble, off the streets, or away from video games and TV, you know. And then I had some kids that had a great passion for soccer. I had a kid from Ivory Coast, a kid from Jamaica, a kid from Mexico, Nigeria, all these students in the same school. And they wanted to play, but there was nowhere for them to play. So we started South Bronx United at the time, it was one team, a soccer team for 11 to 13-year-old boys, to give them a chance to play soccer, get outside their neighborhood, travel a bit. Some see the Bronx or Staten Island, and for them that's huge because they never leave their 5-block radius.
Yeah. So how did it change?
Well, what has changed is two things. First, we realized the interest and demand was huge. So by the second year, we started a recreational soccer program that opened up to another 400 kids.
Wait, how many kids did you start with?
Started with 16. So
and then you went to 400?
To give a chance for any kid that's interested in playing, just a chance to play, and often more so for the parents. So it started at age 4. So 4 or 5-year-olds get on the field. Their parents are just looking for some type of athletic or recreational opportunity for them. So that was one, and now we're at 900 kids. And the second piece is figuring out a way to combine soccer with academic and mentoring and leadership development and health and wellness, and now we do immigration legal services. So using soccer as a way to engage youth and build character on the field, but also draw on that passion and bring them into the classroom and start to talk with them about other issues that are going on, help them with their academics, provide mentoring supports, figure out what supports they need in terms of immigration services and family services, and we've really grown since then.
Do you bring other organizations together to work with the kids, or do you provide all the services here?
So most of it is provided through our staff. So our core program is called the SBU Academy, and that's about 150 middle and high school boys and girls. So those are the students that come at least twice a week to academic programs, as well as playing on travel or competitive soccer teams. So for all those students, we're seeing them up to 10 hours a week, and they have a coach for their team, but also a team mentor. So someone that's following them, what's going on the field, but also in the classroom, being in touch with their school, in touch with their family, to making sure they're on track. We have a youth counselor, someone that provides counseling services, leads boys and girls discussion groups, connects them with other referrals, like you're saying, with other outside organizations. Right. The other day, she was with a student going to a mental health clinic to get some supports there, or bringing someone to Human Resources Administration or housing support. So she's the one that does a lot of connections. We have an immigration legal services coordinator as well, that screens all of our youth and their families often to see what type of supports that we can provide.
When you started this, did you have any idea of what this would become, the size of it and the range of it?
I think when I first started the organization, the initial goal was to provide a safe place, mentoring for students, the chance for them to get on the field and learn through soccer, build teamwork, build character development, give them a chance to travel a bit, but and certainly to promote academics, but didn't initially think about the exact ways we would do that. And it was really through working with the students and hearing their stories and talking with them and talking with other folks in the community that we realized what potential South Bronx United had, that we started to build on the program. So it's really been about learning as we go, and figuring out what services and programs can strengthen the organization and the community and the youth that we're already serving, with the ultimate goal to put them on the path to academic success, college, and careers.
So where did soccer fit into your life?
I started playing soccer at age 9, which is old compared to a lot of our kids now. But once I started playing, I took to it. It became my sport, and I continued to play throughout school and into my adult life. And it was a passion. I follow professional soccer, but I really believe in like the power of sports, and specifically soccer, to bring and unite a lot of different people from different backgrounds together, and promote really strong values that will support them through life. Yeah.
So what does this feel like for you to have done this?
Not me alone, but I'm like real excited and proud of where we've grown it to. It's not something I necessarily envisioned when we started the organization 7 years ago, and we've grown a lot. At the same time, I think it provides hope and excitement about what could come next. I think we're still only part of the way there. With any organization, it's a journey, and I think we're part of the way down to where I see as our long-term goal. So there's always more things to be working on and working towards, and so I think that provides excitement and provides a challenge, and also the hope that we can continue to accomplish more.
So name one thing you want next for the organization, just one thing.
I think our long-term goal is to be able to have a space that we can bring everyone together, that we can have these students get their academic supports right next to the soccer, a place where they can play soccer and get health services, and kind of a one-stop location for them, and as well as for the community, so that we can, I mean, we're reaching 900, but there's so many more kids and families that could use the services and that want our services. We have a wait list of 500 kids in our recreational program alone. So we want to be able to find a way to reach those kids and those families and continue to provide stronger supports. So.
That's great. Thank you for letting us come and visit.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm excited about going out and seeing the kids play. So, Bridget, tell me what you do here at South Bronx United.
Sure. So I am the Youth Development Counselor at South Bronx United, and I handle all of our social, emotional support services, and that can look really different for every student. But in general, it's that character development piece that we really stress, so that we're not just pushing them to be great students, but we're pushing them to be great people and go out into their community and make differences. So that's my work with the students. I work with them individually and run social skills groups, and also try to do outreach to our families to empower them and give them resources in the community that they might need.
And do you only work with the students later in the day, or are you involved with them when they're in school? Do you work with the school people who are also dealing with the kids?
Sure. So during the day, once 3:30 hits, we're with kids the rest of the afternoon. But during the school hours, when they're at school, is a chance for us to collaborate with their teachers or counselors. And I spend a lot of time doing that during the day, so that we can provide them with really well-rounded support. So not just when they walk in our doors, here's what we can do for you. We have a sense of what's going on at school. So yeah, I do try to collaborate with their teachers and counselors, and during the day I also have the pleasure of working with some of their parents, which gives me a little insight into them as well.
Right, right. So I see that you have a degree in sports psychology. Can you explain what that is?
It's a master's in mental health counseling.
Okay.
With a concentration, so a little specialty in sports psychology.
So explain that to me.
When you want to improve in sports, everybody, you practice. And if you want to get better with your left foot in soccer or shooting, you practice. But we don't spend a lot of time practicing the mental skills or the mental toughness that it takes to be, a really well-rounded athlete. So sports psychology can be that piece, whether it's stress management or dealing with frustration, or just, talking about the game and making sure that you've got the mental skills and the mental toughness you need to be successful. Because there's a lot of adversity in sports that mirrors a lot of the adversity you experience in life. So it's a lot of the similar skills as you would work on, in counseling with anybody.
When you provide counseling for the kids of all sorts, is it with individuals or do you ever do group counseling?
Both. So at this age and when peers mean so much to students, it's a great thing to be able to work with them in groups, because they can learn from each other and their own experiences. So we do social skills groups once a week with our younger students. And if we identify somebody needs more support, I can meet with them in either smaller groups or even individually if that would be helpful for them.
I know that there are some schools who have gotten into meditation and mindfulness, and are you doing any of that?
Some of that is a tough sell with our students, but I think trying to focus on what they're interested in and how we can build in different social skills into what they're already interested in. And at our program, that is soccer. It's a common interest, and it's something that they're so motivated by that if I can, frame something in a way that shows how it can be useful in soccer, I find I get a lot more traction. So we're very lucky most of our students have this skill set already of teamwork and the things you need to be successful in soccer. So I usually try to build on that. I'd love to get to the mindfulness, so hopefully in the future they'll get into that.
So I saw today that we were mindful of not intruding. I saw that you were working with, I so wanted to be in that room, working with girls. And so what kinds, is this new, that group? Is that it's just an all-girl group, or what's?
It's been going on in the program since before I was here, but it is, it's us showing that we do prioritize the social development. It's one thing to say we want character development. It's another thing to dedicate, an hour a week of their 4 hours of tutoring requirement to this actual skill building. So it's a group that runs throughout the entire year. Every single Tuesday, they know at 5 o'clock is girls group. And we do, everything from relationship building and team bonding to communication skills and conflict resolution. So we try to just provide some of the skills that are going to apply here, but also to any environment they're in.
Yeah, that's great. Are those girls who are on the girls' soccer team?
Yes, that is actually our girls' U14 team. Okay. So anyone on the U14, which is under 14, participates in our girls group.
So will we see them later tonight?
You will definitely see them out on the field.
Great. And how did you get involved with South Bronx United?
Well, I was relocating from Boston, where I had done my clinical mental health counseling work, and came across South Bronx United, and really the mission really resonated with me in terms of, I'm a lifelong soccer player myself.
Oh, I was going to ask you if you had the soccer
so
connection.
that was a big draw for me, because it's a game that played such a role in my life that I can level with the kids in that way and try to see what it means in their lives. So I found the position and the whole organization, and specifically my role, it's a great combination of a lot of the things that I'm passionate about, and working with youth and empowering them to be their best.
And do you still play soccer?
Not as much as I should, but once in a while.
How old were
Once in a
you when you
while.
started? These kids talked about they being 4 and 5 years old.
Yes, I was a late bloomer, and I started when I was 11, so
Oh.
they've got a lot of them have an edge on me, but played for a while.
Do most of the staff here have a relationship with soccer?
Especially of our core staff, most of them, love soccer, have played their entire lives, and I think it's not a requirement for any of our volunteers or staff members, but I think it's a unique draw that just like how it gets our students in the door, it is a very unique aspect of our program that I think hits home with a lot of our staff members.
Well, that's great. Well, we're going out to the field to see this in action. But thank you so much for taking time. This has been, and
Thank
for the
you.
work you do. It's really wonderful.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks
I appreciate it.
so much. So how long have you both been in South Bronx United for the same amount of time?
No. I've been here since I was 4.
And how old are you now?
11, about to turn 12.
Wow. How about you?
I just started right now. This is my first year.
And how is it?
It's good.
Is it fun?
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about South Bronx United and doing this?
That you get to experience many things, like many different cultures and places, because they usually have trips almost everywhere, Connecticut, all these places, and we get to meet new people as we go. And here too, what I like about it is that they accept any kind of people, any gender, and you can really experience their ways, try new things. So that's what I like about SBU.
That's great. And what about you?
So what I like about SBU is that they help you when you need help, like on homework.
Yeah.
And also they help you on your soccer skills
How did you both find out about South Bronx United?
Well, it was actually my cousin who started, and I started enjoying soccer, and so my aunt, she told my mom about SBU, so my mom was like, we'll give it a try, and I enjoyed it here.
Good for her. And how about you? How did you find out about it?
One time, and it was a Saturday, and they were doing directly, and then I just came to this park, and then I found out about SBU.
Well, good for you. Thank you both.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your closet. Still no jobs? Just more stuff? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Hey Gabby, how you doing? How's the play date and sleepover?
Dad, it was great.
Awesome. Okay, I'm on my way. Hey guys, what are you doing?
We're going swimming! We're going biking! Yeah!
I'll see you in a little bit, guys. I love you.
Hi, babe. How was school today?
Hi, Dad. It was great.
Okay, honey. I'll be home soon. Remember, you're never too far away from your kids to be a dad. Reach out and take a second to check in, because sometimes the smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
So they say it's a man's world? Well, I don't see anybody's name on it. While they were out doing their thing, we slowly changed all that. We changed all that. Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
So Abdul and I are here. Tell me about how you found out about this program and what you do here when you're not playing soccer.
I came here since 2015. Oh, that was my first time here. I couldn't even speak English. And then one day I went by to 161, next to the Yankee Stadium, and then I saw them play the team. And then I asked one of my friends, what team is there? And then he explained me what team is there. He told me this is South Bronx, they really good there. There's an academy for soccer. But since I was little, I like play soccer though. Yeah, but when they told me I have to come to the United States, I was like, okay, that's a wonderful opportunity for me to be like soccer pro, something like that. I'm like, okay. So you tell me about it. At that time I wasn't asking my friend. And when I get home, I could not get off that in my hand. I was like, okay, okay. I type on Google something a day, and then I saw the name. I applied for the trial something a day, and then after that, a few more days later, they call me back. When they call me, they tell me when is the trial or something a day, and then I went to the trial. My first time that was not easy though, cause I speak French, and then English I couldn't even speak English. I was a little lost when they speak or when they said to do something. I was like, what is that? What does it mean? How can I even speak English? Nothing. Then when I introduced the team, the academy something like that, and then they start telling me they got some program for academy staff, after school you can come for tutoring, the thing you didn't understand at school, they can help me the first time. When I started coming to the program, to the tutoring staff, they helped me to speak English, how work at school or something like that, everything. That was not easy for me though. And then even though now my little brothers and then my junior brothers, everybody came in this program
so it's
too.
The whole family.
Yeah, this whole family though. I'm the oldest one, so I'm proud of myself. Because of me, my little brothers, and then the other one, they're gonna speak English like me too.
Good for you. That's wonderful. That was hard work too.
Yeah, that was hard work. Look.
And has the soccer gotten better too?
No, don't talk about it. Since I was little, like I said, I started playing though. That's something. That's one of my dreams to be like a pro. But when I was in Africa, my country or something, that was it. But school, we don't really care about. But we care. But it's not when you hear you have to care about school and then care about soccer is not the same thing.
Right.
But now when I came here, I told my dad I wasn't play soccer. He was like, okay, you want to play soccer, right? But you should go to school. You don't go to school, you can play. So what I have to do, I don't have a choice. I have to be focused on school. So that's what I'm doing right now. When they was telling me you should go to school, you can play soccer. Maybe if you didn't get your chance in soccer, maybe your school can help you, something like that. But that time, I was like, okay, whatever, that's nothing. I wish to play my soccer. But when I came here, and then the staff are from SBU, I got some teacher, they'll tell me everything about it. When I don't understand something, I ask them, they help me though. They start giving me some advice about it, And then they told me you should go to school. Maybe if you didn't get your soccer pro, you got a school diploma, you can do something.
You can become a doctor or
something like that. In Africa, I was in the academy too, but we don't opportunity like this,
Yeah.
And then they help us for school, for soccer, everything.
And you could do a commercial for South Bronx United.
Right?
Yes. But before we let you go, you know what we have to take a picture of.
My shoe.
You have the most awesome shoes. We have to get them on camera too. Abdul, thank you so much for talking to us. It's great to meet you, and you should be so proud of yourself, and I'm sure your family
I'm so proud too.
Good. So, because you told me something very interesting when we were in the hallway before we came in here about where you came from and where you're going to school. So, can you tell me a little bit about that?
So, I was born in Guinea, West Africa, and then I moved to Senegal when I started going to school there. And when I was about 11 years old, I came to the United States. And from there, started going to school again, started learning English, and then I found out about SBU, South Bronx United, and then they took me on. I was in the travel team, and then 2 years ago, they started helping me get into like boarding schools. I started applying to schools in like Massachusetts, New England area, and now I attend Northfield Mount Herman School up in Mass. It's a great school.
And so that's a lot of changes.
Yep.
So how old were you when you came here?
I was about 11 years old when I first came to the United States.
And now you're making another change into boarding school.
Yep.
What's that like?
I love boarding school right now. It's a whole different experience. It got me back on track with the education. I'm like focused on all about education and also the soccer part because there's a great soccer team up there right now. Yeah.
And so people here knew about the soccer team.
Yeah.
But how did you find South Bronx United?
One of my friends we both played in the Mexican League together. He told me about South Bronx, and then he told me to come like practice. And when I did come to practice, the coach told me to come back, and I started coming back, and it became a habitual thing to come and practice with them. And then after a while, they took me on in the travel team, and I became part of SBU.
So when you travel, where do you go to different schools or?
No, we go to different areas like Staten Island, Long Island, play different teams from Brooklyn or Harlem, just around the city. And sometimes we take trips. Like I remember like 2 years ago we went to Berkshire. That's one of our rival schools.
Okay.
It's a boarding school, and
in Massachusetts, right?
Massachusetts,
yeah.
Yep.
But tell me we only have a few minutes, I'm afraid, but tell me, I loved what you told me about what you see when you're at boarding school, the mountains. And
everything is beautiful there, like especially at night, because it's not a lot of lights, like just like in the city.
Yeah.
So everything is just like, when you look up, you can see the stars. And sometimes when you look over, because we live next to a mountain, you can see like the mountains high.
And do you ever go hiking?
Yeah, we go hiking all the time with my school and with my team.
So the team is part of the practice is to go hiking. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, it is.
Well, thank you for doing this.
Thank you so much.
This is great, and that sounds wonderful. I want to see those stars now.
Yeah.
So,
she come visit sometimes.
Yeah, my daughter lives in Massachusetts, so when I get out of the car, I look up. So I know what that beautifulness is.
It's really beautiful.
But thanks for talking to me.
Thank you.
And join us next time when we'll take you on another adventure through the world of nonprofits in the Bronx.
The earthquakes you see in movies are one thing, but real life is a completely different animal. Just because you can't predict an earthquake doesn't mean that you can't prepare for one. In the event of a real earthquake, you should drop, cover, and hold on. Visit ready.gov/earthquake and practice what to do to keep you and your family safe in the event of a real earthquake. And you'll be seen as a hero by your family and your loved ones.
Visit ready.gov/earthquake today.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.